What's up, folks? What's going on? This is CEO of MF Seasons and Sauces. And if you're not doing nothing on Sundays at 6 p.m., you gotta check out The Man Cave. I approve this message, and I'm on my way. Check them out every Sunday, 6 p.m. The Man Cave. Yeah.
Today on The Man Cave, we talk to one of the nation's most multi-talented gems, comedian Crystal P.
Praise the Lord. How y'all doing tonight? Oh, it's a different. How y'all doing in the Rosa Parks section back there? They had their tickets on layaway, bought them at the door. They told you to get reservations. People want to argue about who is white in the Bible, who is black in the Bible. It doesn't matter because God loves us all the same. But I suspect Eve was white. Because ain't no sister gonna be in the garden around all them apples and she made a pie cobbler turnover or something. Then I have problems with old men trying to date me. And when I say old, he was so old he can remember when Pizza Hut was a tabernacle. And it got that hot breath, you know, the kind you dry dishes with. And if it wasn't for a Bluetooth, he wouldn't have no teeth at all. But he wanna be all up on me, talking about back in my party days. You know I'm the DJ. Not up in this club. Yeah, what would you like for me to play for you? Dead? Anisha was my friend. We had a lot in common. We were plus size. We got any plus size sisters in the house tonight? Some more of y'all heifers should be clapping, amen? Just because the lights down don't mean we can't see you. When I'm talking about big girls, I'm talking about the kind of big girls where your cleavage sweating and smell like buttermilk. That's the kind of big girl. You know what I'm saying? Walk in your anointing. People will discriminate against you when you're plus size. I know how it is. Oh, in the name of Jesus. What size do y'all wear? 0.5. They got all the skinny heifers sitting up here. I got bras and girdles bigger than her sweater. So disrespectful.
The multi-talented comedian is known by the acronym CHASE. Comedian, host, actress, singer, and entertainer.
This morning, yes, with a smile on my face. You know I'm a little lazy, so I rolled out of bed, I took a bath and I dressed. I'm so lazy, so I let the maid clean up my place. Hungry, y'all. Made me some breakfast. Scrambled eggs. I don't like grits, so I made oatmeal. Grab my keys, grab my fur, grab my coach. I'm off to work, beaming all the way downward word. Is it the way you love?
Joining us to talk about her one-woman show coming in 2025. National renowned, award-winning comedian, musician, actress, and baker. Please welcome to the Man Cave, comedian Crystal P. Crystal P is in the house. Welcome to another edition of the Man Cave, where we give our opinion on just about everything. Crystal P is in the house, y'all. This is a show I've been waiting on ever since I got the yes. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you for having me, man. You took me back. That clip of me in that black dress. That was the very first More Than Eyes Can See show.
Really? I would have never
very
guessed.
first one. Yes, that's the very first one. When I got it in my head, I want to do a show with this, and this. And that was the very first one. I think that was either 2016 or 2015. The
Okay.
concept had always been in my head since about I want to say 2009, 9 or 10. The guy that was actually playing the saxophone, Michael Elder, I had first told him about my vision.
Oh,
and
really?
it finally came to pass. That was the very first More Than the Eyes Can See show.
Well, we're gonna get really deep into that show, but I didn't know that was the first one. But I'm gonna say this before we get into it. I was floored. I went to the one last year, not knowing that it was the fourth installment. I was floored, Crystal P, at the amount of excellence, polish, talent that was displayed on that show for that. I mean, and you rocked the house for several hours. And I was just floored at how polished it was. I mean, not that I didn't expect it to be, but my expectations was here and that was high. You were like, up here, dude, you don't know what you coming into.
And 4 came a long way from the first one. I can tell you that. and people love the first one. But as you grow and learn and mature, things change. My goal is to always give people an experience as if they were going to the Fox, to the music hall, to the opera house. I just don't have as big of name or international acclaim like some of the people you go to see, but I want you to have an excellent experience from, like I said, the production side, from the talent that is on the stage. We have some of the best Detroit talent, and even some, because last year's show had, or I should say earlier this show, but show number 4 had Hamburger, which has international acclaim. He was on BET, he was, Comic View, Def Comedy Jam. They used him on The Family Guy. So he's very well known, and he was on show number 4. So we try to bring people a phenomenal show, give them their money's worth. And see, my thing is I want to meet and exceed anyone's expectations, and so that's where the name comes from. What the eyes can see, because
definitely met more than my eyes saw, because like I told you off the air, I was expecting to have a comedy show and I was expecting to laugh, but all of the other stuff that was happening was like, whoa. Now we're gonna get into that, but what we're talking about is this show here, More Than the Eyes Can See, number 5.
Yes.
And it's coming in April of 2025. Now I'm gonna replay this show in late February, early March, so people can get tickets for this show. So if you're watching this show and it's in February or March, this is a replay so that you can get tickets for this show. And this one is number 5, The Final Experience. You have come from number 1, doing it in Renaissance High School, all the way to a big venue like at the Michael Guido Theater or the Dearborn Performing Arts Center. And to watch it grow, how was it for you to see it grow and then have to exceed your own expectations and bring more the next year? How was that on you?
Yeah, so to exceed, because I'm always in competition with myself. And every year when I start planning, I literally start planning the next show from the previous show. So I've already been in rehearsals. The previous number 4, that show was March 16th. I booked the venue March 18th, and I was in rehearsals the end of March, beginning of April.
Wow. Really?
I start rehearsing by myself. And once I figure out what it is that I want to do, then I slowly bring on everybody. So one of the vocalists, I don't call them background singers because they can stand in the foreground. Every one of them have a resume. They can sing on their own. They don't need me. I call them the Diamonds. I refer to the vocal support as the Diamonds. And Nikki, who is the only Diamond that has been on all 5 shows, or will be number 5 comes. She has served on all 4 shows. I sit with her and I discuss the song list, what's in my head, kind of some of my vision. And we go through the whole song list, kind of sing some songs and see what's best. She'll give me her input. I trust her judgment. When we were getting ready for number 4, I had a song, and anybody that knows me knows I love me some Stephanie Mills and Phyllis Hyman and Jill Scott. Like, love it. And I was singing the song by Stephanie Mills, and she said, "What do you think about you doing this song?" Another song by Stephanie Mills. And I immediately stopped, started singing it, and then I even was like, "Yeah, I think this is the better choice."
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those people that I'm a slave driver or just where I can't get anybody's input.
Right, a tyrant, yeah.
Even though my name is on the show and I produce the show and put the show together, I still get input because I want it to be the very best.
Yeah.
So, I get a lot of input from everybody. And then after Nikki and I go through and solidify, then I go to the vocalists, the rest of the vocalists. We kind of do our in-house rehearsals. Then I bring on the MD. And so the MD can hear what we've prepared,
right?
Put his input in. Then once he gets in, then the band comes on. He's already setting up the band, but then we join together, rehearse together, and then we put on the show. So literally, it was 7 rehearsals. The show is the 7th rehearsal. We have 2 rehearsals with the band before that, 2 with the MD, and then the others with the vocalists. That's it.
Wow. And see, okay, so let's do this. Okay, well, I'm going in so many different directions because you are so multi-talented and multifaceted that I could go any place. I just want to share with people where you came from first and how you got to be where you are, homegrown Detroiter. How did you start in comedy? How did that evolve?
2004, so 20 years ago, November 4th, 2004 is my comedy anniversary. I used to be a Detroit Police Reserve. Some people know, some people don't know. Witnessed the shooting, homicide, and basically saw my life flash before me. I'm trying to give the nice PG Sunday. We don't watch the Lions game version. And so from that point, I said to myself, I want to do in life what I want to do before I leave this earth. And I had always wanted to be in entertainment, always wanted to be in movies and sitcoms and act and stand up and all this kind of stuff. And I just stepped out. I told my best friend, I said, I want to do stand up, and they're having this audition in LA. She's basically like, you should have been doing this a long time ago. Go. Yeah. And I had 2 small children, husband. I've been married, but at that time, maybe about 9 years. It's like, how am I gonna run out to LA and audition? I didn't have the money, and it was just crazy. And my best friend told me to ask my dad. I said, my dad ain't paying for pipe dreams. Like, girl, bye. And I went on to ask him because I really wanted to do this audition. He said he was only paying for the plane ticket. That was it. That's all I was going to get. I was on my own. I didn't have no money. Listen, I was broke as the 10 Commandments. And I took I had $100. That's all I had was $100 that I could really spare. And 65 of it, I had to rent a car because I had to get around LA. Yeah. I remember I had a Jeep Liberty and rented that car, and I had $35 left. And that was to eat, hotel, whatever I was going to do with that $35, I had to do it with that.
Wow.
And my husband at the time, his cousin lived in LA. They invited me to stay with them. on Fifth Avenue over in the gosh, I can't think of the neighborhood. It's one of the ones Ice Cube and them talk about.
Long Beach.
No, it wasn't Long Beach. Oh man, it's near Century Boulevard.
Compton.
Oh,
a
little less good, but not Watts hood.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of it'll come to me.
Okay.
And I stayed with them. They fed me, and then I did the audition. I stood in line, long line. I've never stood in line like this before.
Oh, wow.
And when I got up on stage at the Laugh Factory, it just felt right. It just, I don't know, I can't explain, but it's a feeling. Whenever something I know is supposed to be, I get something in my spirit that just won't leave me. And it just felt right. And from that point, I came home, was trying to hit open mics and do whatever I could do to be a part of the comedy game.
And it, obviously, it worked out for you. Did you win the competition out there in LA?
No, I didn't even make it onto the show, but for me, it was still a win. I remember meeting this comedian named Honor Pillow. Like it was honor, but it was like Honor Pillow, like on her pillow kind of thing. It was a play on words.
Okay, Honor Pillow. Okay. Yeah.
And she was in line. You start talking to people in line, telling them where you from. Oh, I've never done comedy. This is because that was going to really be my first time on stage. I had never done stand-up. I didn't know what, but in my head, you couldn't tell me I wasn't a seasoned comedian. and I think that about anything that I do.
Right.
I may not always have the tools or the resources, even with the More Than Eyes Can See show. In my head, I am this phenomenal on stage. You can't tell me that I'm not Beyonce or I'm not Phyllis Hyde. In my head, my show is gonna be what you go to see them to be. Kind of thing. That's how I treat everything.
Yeah.
And you have to think highly of yourself.
Yes.
If you think you're garbage, you're gonna give garbage. And
yes.
the one thing that I'm not gonna give on stage is garbage.
Yes. And it comes across.
Put my best foot forward and give people my very, very best.
It comes across because my appetite for number 5 came like a third into number 4. Because at the beginning, I don't want to give the show away, but you have comedians and you have a host, and I had a great time listening to them, and so I decided right after listening to them, and then you came on. And I was like, oh, yeah, this must be coming close to the end. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to come next year. But then the other 3/4 of the show that came after, I had no idea.
Music, we're going to give you comedy.
Yes.
We're going to give you music, singing, and instruments. So that's why it's called More Than Eyes Can See. Now, what I didn't do at number 4 that I did at number 1, there's always some slight adjustments with each show. But when I did the very first show and I had my little VIP section, I cooked all the food. I made all the desserts.
Wow.
And so you got the baking side of Crystal P, the chef side of Crystal P. Then after I set up the VIP and get everybody's food, I went backstage, changed my clothes.
Yes.
Come on, and I do stand up. Then go backstage again, change my clothes, come back out and do the music. Yeah.
And one of the things I was amazed at, seeing you go through all of these things, and even the backstage stuff, like making all of the food. I didn't even know that part, but to see everything that you brought on stage, and then after the show, because I knew you had to been tired, you had to been wore out, you still had time to come out and talk to people and take pictures with them. Because here go my picture right here. That's my picture. And I was like, and you came right up to me and say, hey, where your camera at? And you took my picture. After all that energy you just exerted on stage, I was just like blown away.
Every single show, my husband was like, yeah, you always kissing the babies, but if it weren't for you all and the people that buy the tickets, there would be no Crystal P. There would be no More Than the Eyes Can See or any show that I'm ever on.
Yeah.
I always come out, shake hands. One lady asked me the other day, I was at a church doing a show, do you charge for pictures? I said, no, come on, tag me in the picture. I take pictures, I shake hands, I hug people. I always do that because I appreciate anybody that comes out, especially if it's coming to see me. Sometimes people have never seen me or don't know anything about me, and they see me on the show, and it's like, oh, I enjoyed you, I love you, and that kind of thing. So I'm always come out. But yeah, the very first show, I cooked, baked, corn. On the first show, the only thing I did was comedy, sing. I played the flute. And I played the piano and the drums.
Okay, yep. And see,
so they were mad that I didn't play the drums in show number 4.
Yeah.
I was like, I did everything. It wasn't nothing left for me to do for the trapeze. But you have some people, they have their favorites. And
right.
And I listen. You know, people say they want more comedy from me. So number 5, I have to do more stand-up.
Yeah. And see, that's the first time I saw you, it was at a Christian event. I forget what it was called. And you had command of that audience so tough that everybody was just like waiting, like edge of the seat to hear what you're going to say next, because your jokes come from nowhere. You think you kind of have an expectation of a punchline, but when you hit them, it's like, okay, I didn't see that twist coming. That was pretty funny. and then you have physical comedy as well as verbal comedy. And see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is what makes you unique, right?
Honeysuckle sweet. The sound that saved a wretch like me.
Who thinks of that? Who thinks of that? So, okay, but the thing about the show that I really, another thing is how you tie everything into Detroit. It's this old underlying Detroit theme. Like I just showed the clip where you change the lyrics to the Jill Scott song to match Detroit. And then at the end of number 4, I hope I ain't giving too much away, you came out and was Detroit jitting.
Oh yeah. I won't get at the next one, but
and I said, this girl is up here jitting. And after you done, all the other stuff, you was out there jitting. And so there's another part in the show that I just thoroughly enjoyed because I'm a music buff. You went over to the 1s and 2s, Miss Crystal P, and was cutting this. I'm like, what else is she gonna do? This show had everything, and you did everything. So
people never know where I'm gonna come from. It's funny on with because I even design my clothes for the what I'm gonna wear.
Really,
I draw it out. And I have my seamstress put it together.
Really?
Because I don't have a stylist and that kind of stuff. I fake it till I make it. Like in my head, like I told you, in my head, I'm great.
Yeah.
But in my pocket, it's like, girl, listen here, honey. You got a whole Section 8 budget for this show. I'm gonna need you to, but I go and I buy material. That very first clip you showed of me doing the Jill Scott. And I designed it. I found some material, and the first way that I designed it had it when tried it on, and my seamstress said, "Hey, you got a little extra of the floral part, some material left, and she'll put it in my bag." And I took out the little material, and flung it over my shoulder because I got to be different. And I had it kind of asymmetrical. I said, Miss Nisi, that's my seamstress name. What if you sewed this right here? So that's the floral part that you saw on top of the mesh. That's how that came to be.
Wow.
So there's a piece of extra material left. And I was 250 something pounds on that very first show. And so it kind of camouflaged some of my meat. And so that's how that outfit came to be. But I do design my clothes for all the shows. So the show that you came to, the dress with the 2 slits, found me some material, and I sit there and think, okay, how can I use this material? And then, of course, everybody had on my show right here, my Crystal
logo
t-shirt.
Yeah.
So everybody on stage had a logo t-shirt in white with the magenta logo part. And then so I designed that dress, and my nephew designed the logo, the Crystal P logo. But I come up with everything. How am I going to wear my hair? What instruments am I going to play? Just run crazy things in my head. Like you say, I tailor stuff because I want it to be funny. So, sing the song, but you tie in the Detroit part in it. The back bend, you showed the clip. So that clip you showed, that was from a church in Maryland, very popular church. They actually had one of the big Congress people that passed, Lewis.
Okay.
Was their bishop, preached it there. That was the same church. So when I first came up with the joke about Amazing Grace and that back bend, I wrote the joke in my head, but it never played it. I didn't do the back bend until I actually did the show. I never practiced it at home when I had it in my head. It was executed for the very first time on stage, because it takes your adrenaline.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And so if I stand up right now, I never would be able to do that back bend.
Really? Wow.
It's something about being on stage. It brings out the craziness in me. And I can do things that I couldn't do Amazing Grace. I don't think I can hold that note out that long. and people are like, you got asthma. And you just, when I'm on stage, I can just, I don't know, convert into just pure foolishness. Move around. Most people wouldn't even know that by law I'm handicapped.
Really?
Handicapped.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
I got a dislocated vertebrae.
And you doing back bends?
Listen, I pay for it when I get home. But yeah, I have a bulging disc and dislocated vertebrae. So I have a L3 and L4 issue and an L6 and L7.
Wow.
And but when I get on stage, I just pour it all out on stage.
You sure do, because
sometimes with songs.
Yeah.
I have a piano teacher. My piano teacher is also my vocal coach. And you trying to sing songs, and it's like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? Or even playing. What am I getting myself into? Who came up with this foolishness? And then I have to tap myself on my own shoulder.
Yeah.
And I remember rehearsing for 4 and a couple of songs, and it just wasn't going the way I wanted to go. And I'm adjusting the notes because I couldn't really do it. But then when I got to the actual venue and the actual show, I sang it differently than I sang in rehearsals. And my vocal coach was in the audience. And she was like, girl, when you hit that note, she said, I screamed. She said, because you never did it. And I never could do it in rehearsal. Yeah. Sometimes the adrenaline and just the vibe and the spirit of the room will just take you to another direction. Coming out on the flute when I opened the show with the musical portion.
Yes.
Just moving about the stage. In my head, I can see it. But in my body and in rehearsals, I just don't do any of that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like when I get on stage, it's like, well, where did that Crystal P come from? Where she come? Even the piano part.
Yeah.
Breaking the keys, none of that was ever done.
Really?
It was done at that moment in time of the show, hitting the ding, 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 with the two fingers on.
Yes.
None of that ever done in rehearsal.
Wow.
None of it.
But let me give people a little taste. A little taste of number 4.
Okay.
Because I have no idea how big number 5 is going to be.
And I don't know what he about to play, so I'm about to get a taste with y'all. Let me look at my list.
The cool thing is, this was from my seat's view, and I got to see like this whole stage. But when you came out, like you said, with that flute, I don't think I blinked for 20 minutes when you came out like this. That was incredible.
Thank you.
You came out with a flute, and I kind of knew you played the flute, but so that didn't really surprise me. But the other instruments, like when you came out playing a bass, Crystal,
I'm about to get my Ike Turner on.
Yes, you did. And I was like, and see, that's not last year.
No, now that was number 3. That show there is number 3.
Okay. Yeah, so that, see, Crystal P, that floored me because the amount of talent that you have was really just displayed wonderfully and exhaustively on these shows. And I can't wait to see it because it's nothing like I've ever seen before. And in addition to doing your stand-up, you did stand-up and then you sang, you did all this stuff in one show, and it just floored the heck out of me. I was floored. We got some questions and some comments from some of our viewers. Maddie Wiggins, my little sister, said, "Hello, Crystal P."
Hi.
Maddie says she loved your cover song of The Way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because being a comedian, I'm not one of those belter singers. I could do my jazz and that thing, but when I sing, it's for entertainment. And being a comedian, I'm always going to entertain somebody. So it might make you laugh during a song. It might make you think. The show number 3, where you were showing the clips of me in the black is my favorite color, so I always got on black a lot of time. But I did Ella Fitzgerald's "Old MacDonald Had a Farm." Nobody saw that coming. They're like, is she up here singing nursery rhymes? And people ate it up.
Yes.
Because what I always try to do, I'm gonna give you something different, but I'm gonna entertain you and I'm gonna make you have fun as well.
Yeah.
And so The Way is one of my karaoke songs, and I've always changed the words to it because in my head, that's how I see the song.
Yeah.
And people can relate. People coming down Woodward, what?
Yeah.
Like
right.
that's what we do. Detroit, they wearing gaiters and that kind of thing. Sometimes when I sing the song and I get to the second verse and I let's see, 4:30, can't wait to get home. I got something else to do. And I get to the part and I say, I like to shake my thing instead of shaking my thing on the dance floor. I might say it's ballroom and hustle on the dance floor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always throw in that personal experience or that relatable experience. Of course, if I go out of town, I probably wouldn't do it as much because they wouldn't understand and they don't understand. But if I do something in the Detroit area, it is going to have pieces of us. Because that's what we know and what we can relate to. Detroiters, they dress. Y'all dress. Y'all get down. Y'all come with the haberdashery and the drag, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
And so you just try to give them that element. You give them the clothing, you give them the music, you give them the instruments, you give them the comedy, everything that we can relate to.
Yeah, and I mean that's another part that I loved about it, that it was Detroit in Detroit. You know, homegirl says I love you to Detroiters in the city, and it just it came off that way. Another thing I liked about the show is your tribute to black males when you sang Strange Fruit.
Oh, now that was from the very first show.
Yeah, I appreciated that. That was like, a lot of people don't pay tribute to the people we've lost like that at the hands of cops, but you did, and that was special.
Oh yeah, because at that, even during that show, there was a lot of young black men being murdered by the police, and now we're seeing even more today, but it was very prevalent at that 2015 or 2016 show. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all. But a lot of people, when they hear Strange Fruit, they liken it to what is her name? God, my mind is going. Jazz singer, light-skinned jazz singer.
Billie Holiday?
Yes.
No. Yeah, okay.
But I didn't do the Billie Holiday version. The version I did was Nina Simone.
I got you.
And so my one friend, she was like, girl, I wanted to poke my eye out because it got kind of deep and dreary. Like, it took people on a ride.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the words mean from Strange Fruit, you really, and the arrangement and the way that we did it, it wasn't a bunch of full band.
Yep.
It was very low and dreary.
Yeah.
And I wanted people to think I'm going to invoke emotion somehow, some way in the show, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. It could be political and not political, and me saying, okay, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm an independent, not Democrat, or like political in that matter, but political in a way of taking a stance and standing up for people.
Yeah.
And being a spokesperson for somebody who may not have a voice. I try to show honor in all of my shows in one way or another. So I've given flowers. I've given scholarships. At that very first show, we had young men get scholarships.
Wow.
That I actually brought on stage. I've given to Lupus Detroit because a lot of people know that I'm a lupus survivor, warrior. Shay Lady, the Lupus Foundation as well. So my show is also going to give back as well. And honor people. I've given away scholarships and honored teachers and just all kinds of things, something different at each show.
Yeah. You gave flowers to just like your piano instructor and your vocal coach, and some people were surprised to get the roses that you were sending.
Nobody knows. No, I don't discuss it. I don't not even my own team. My stage manager, who's been she's been a part of all the shows. My stage manager and TT and Nikki, they are the only two besides me that have done every single show.
Wow.
Every single show. It's a lot. It's an undertaking, but I don't discuss it because one, I don't want anybody trying to talk me out of doing anything. Two, it's not for publicity. So, you know how people say, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this to have the cameras rolling, have the news and the this. No. So I don't discuss it because it's meant to be a special moment. I was telling somebody earlier today, she said, when I saw you at my mom's funeral, she said, I was floored. Another comedian posted the other day, I will never forget you at my brother's funeral, seeing you walk up. She said, basically she was floored. I don't get on social media with my selfie camera, like, here, I'm at the hospital visiting so-and-so. I'm at the funeral home. I don't post anything. A lot of people really don't know any of what I do off stage, and it's not for everybody to know. I just do it because that's, for me, ministry, for lack of a better term. Missionary work. But I'm not a missionary. I'm just Crystal P. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I'm just regular old folk, but people are often shocked at what I do when they don't see me on stage.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I do. I honor people, and even with the music at the number 3 show, we did Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder. And we did Master Blaster Jammer, and we also did very superstitious. Yeah. And so I was on the drums playing Superstitious, and DeLorean Cotton sang the lead. Like, I'll bring other people up to sing.
Yeah.
And but when they did Master Blaster Jammin', the vocal support did the song. I said, I'm gonna go back and change my clothes, but I had already set up the song how I wanted the song to go. So they're singing the song. DeLorean is leading the rest of them singing the background, and didn't know you will be jumping into the break of dawn. Doom, 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 you know, and the lady, you made my way, and then we brought
yes, yeah.
People were like, wait, what just happened?
Yep.
My one friend, her mom's like, we were about to have a Baptist fit.
Yes. Yes.
So we have something for everybody. The show it's clean in a way, but we just not up there cussing. But we have R&B, we have jazz, we'll have gospel, we'll have one show, I think it was definitely number 2. I did Annie Lennox and the Eurythmics.
Really? What song?
Oh God, my mind just drew blank.
Here Comes the Rain Again.
Keep your head up, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So we always have something for everybody.
That transition song from Stevie to the Clark sisters. Okay, so when you did it, you know, I was like that mom on the remember the 5 Heartbeats when she first saw her son, and she stood up like that. Yes, I was like that. I was like, no, she didn't turn it on. Then I went to go see the reunion tour later that year in October, and they said that they got that song
from Stevie Wonder.
Yes, and I was like,
I'm a music person. I'm a person. I read credits. Yeah. I look at the writers and everything. But I know music. I grew up on music, so I know a lot of the originals.
Yeah.
So I knew early on where it came from. When you hear people like Biggie, doom, Hypnotized, Hot, Sicker Than Your Average, Top. I knew that was
that was Rise.
Yeah, but people don't know because a lot of people are not musically inclined. So I knew where Biggie got it from. I know Jay-Z has, sampled a lot of stuff, and but I know the original versions.
Yes.
Now with this last show, crazy. So and I believe in the B-side too. So there's 2 parts to this. Show number 1, was it show number 1 or show number 2? I did Crazy by Jill Scott. If you don't know Jill Scott's music, then you probably would never know the song. And then I did Meet Me on the Moon by Phyllis Hyman.
Yes.
If you don't know Phyllis Hyman, you wouldn't know that song.
Yes.
There were some people that were so intrigued, they had to go and download Phyllis Hyman because they had never heard the song before until my show.
Yes.
That was the same thing with Crazy with Jill Scott. Same thing with Ella Fitzgerald with O McDonald. And I got that from watching RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay, I'm guilty. I watched love RuPaul. Let me tell you, when I watched that show, I know some people who may not be into the whole transgender or LGBTQ, and I don't have any issue with it. Everybody's belief is their belief. I let people believe. I watched the show. One, is entertaining. I laugh, but they have some of the best clothing. Sometimes I get ideas from watching RuPaul, whatever dress he comes on down the runway. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't wear that, but I would change this and put it that way. So it opens my horizons to what I might design.
Yeah.
I'll take a piece from that and a piece from there. You can always learn something from somebody. But that Ella Fitzgerald, I actually got it from Lala Ree. He sang it on the show. Like, where did that come from? And I see it on the thing because they give credit. I go along, I YouTube it. I said, I watched her perform that show 3 different ways on Sunday.
Really?
Man. And we know My Funny Valentine. Like some stuff we know about Ella, but a lot of people didn't know that one by Ella.
Yeah, I didn't.
And, oh my God, you have to go and watch her do that song.
Wow.
Amazing. Wow. And so it's like, oh, this is different. Oh, this people are not expecting this. Let me write this down because I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to do what everybody isn't doing.
And that's what that's another thing. You hit people on the side of the head because we don't see it coming. And you just switch a song and it's like you didn't switch, but it's this different song. And so let me get to this one of our family members, EW, says, hey, all, Crystal P, so many talents. We really need your comedy right now. The opening was hilarious. Faith in Him, another family member, said, it's evident you two have serious love for music. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. So,
it keeps me sane.
Yes. So, Crystal P, musician, singer, comedian. Okay, so we're gonna get to this next part of what you do, which is you are an expert baker. And so hold on, let me get rid of this comment real quick. And you are expert baker, and you've been making cakes and pastries for how long?
My first paying client was 1995.
Really?
Her name was Princess, Catherine Gaskins. And one of the cakes, I've done all her cakes over the years because we're in 2024. I actually did a cake for her birthday the other day, November 14th. She is the client that pushes me when it comes to cakes. I'm like, girl, where did you come up? So she is me when it comes to cakes. She'll give me this concept, and I'm like, I can't. I have to figure it out. All her cakes are challenges for me.
Really?
It pushes me to a whole different level. And then she doesn't want fondant. And if people don't know the difference between buttercream and fondant, you can shape it, twirl it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Do all the things, make shoes and stuff. She want me to do it, but do it in the buttercream version.
The soft buttercream that can move? Okay.
Pushes me.
Wow.
I've always tried to exceed her expectations, and she's still riding with me. 2024.
Wow.
For 29 years.
Wow.
She's still riding with me for cakes.
So I'm gonna put some of your cakes on the screen. You tell me what they're about.
Okay.
This one.
So y'all see that Fox 2 back there?
Yeah.
I either got a massage or I was at the doctor's office that morning. Minding my business. I turned my phone off. I turned it back on after it's over. I missed calls, text messages. My whole phone got all these missed messages. I was like, oh Lord, somebody died. I was scared. I finally read the message. They like, your cake is on TV on the news.
Wow.
News. So then I read another message. Girl, I just saw your cake on Fox 2 News. By the third message, somebody had screenshot, and that's their picture screenshot to show me because I'm like, how? And it was a cake that I made for my husband's birthday.
Wow.
And posted it. I posted on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. They took it from my Twitter feed. That is my Twitter name. And they found it using those hashtags.
Wow.
Lions, Detroit Lions, football.
Yeah.
And from there, Fox 2 News found it in Detroit, and they posted it on their page. They did it the last thing on their 9 o'clock news segment. And that was a cake that I made for my husband's birthday because he is a Lions fanatic. Lions fanatic.
Wow.
When it's Lion season, it's God, Lions, and then me. So that was the cake. Butterflies. That was a concept I saw on a cake decorator's page, and then I just put my twist on it for a customer.
And
so
what flavor is that?
I think it was a yellow batter cake, but it's buttercream icing, and those butterflies are actually edible. And then you have the edible pearls.
Wow.
That was a cake for this myrtle cake. Nikki is one of the vocalists, the one that I said has been on every More Than the Eyes Can See show. Her mom turned 75. She, Nikki's on the budget like I'm on the budget. She was really putting the party together herself.
Okay.
She was over budget, trying to do it out her pocket, mom, single mom, whatever, child in college. I said, Nikki, I got you. I'm a do, because her mom supports my shows and supports me. Let me do this for her birthday. I don't often give cakes away for people's birthdays because it's just a lot of work. I don't always have the time. But I said, let me do the cake. The theme of the party was garden party. The colors were green. And so this is what I came up with on my own to give.
Oh, wow.
So it's all buttercream. Some of the flowers I made, some of them I bought.
Yeah.
Icing flowers. The ones, they're the little white ones with the little pearls in the middle. And then I think they're called hydrangeas. They're like the greenish, purplish ones.
Yes.
Like a triangle. Those I bought. But the other ones, I made by hand. Oh, and some of the green roses, the ones that look like they're metallic, those I bought. And I put luster dust on them to change the colors. But all the other flowers, the lime green ones, the key lime ones, all those I made by hand.
Wow. And how long would it take to make this cake?
It took me to decorate it about an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah. And then the myrtle side, my friend Karen, who's another cake decorator, she cut this thing because I don't know how to use my Cricut machine. I have the machine, I don't know how to use it.
Oh, okay.
Money bag. Now that is fondant. That's edible $100 bills coming out the top.
Really?
This whole cake is fondant.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Yeah. With buttercream up under it. So inside of it, I still cover it. This one is also fondant. I made the plug, the light source, the light bulb, the little hazard sign, the little triangle hazard sign. This was for one of the deacons at my church. He's an electrician by trade.
Oh, wow.
This one was fondant. But it's buttercream up under it. Yellow batter cake to make like a briefcase. It was an alligator briefcase.
Yeah.
With edible money coming out. For this guy named Juro, they call him G Money, but he's my carpet cleaner, and he also owns RSVP Event Center out in Clinton Township. He and his wife, and they have Party Bus.
Oh, okay.
So, big entrepreneur. They've hired me to do stand up, so that was for his 50th birthday.
Wow! And this next one floors me. How you made this into a cake?
That is a princess cake. So my client that was telling you about princess, she said, I want you to do a shape of an alligator and I want it all buttercream. Ma'am, what? Ma'am, what? And she said it had an alligator eating a Heineken beer can.
Yeah.
Because my cousin, we call him Gator, and his favorite beer is Heineken.
Oh, okay.
Again, ma'am, what?
But
And sure enough, that's all buttercream icing. There is no
wow.
fondant on that cake. I hand carved the cake into the shape of the gator.
Yeah.
Every square on the gator, every notch on his head. The only thing on that cake that is fondant is his eyeball, is the alligator
Really?
eyeball. And I brushed it with water to make it shiny and glisten like you see
Yeah.
it. Even the part around the eyeball, the the beadiness of the eye, that's all buttercream.
Wow.
All buttercream. The teeth, all buttercream. But I hand did everything just using different tools on my decorating bag.
Wow.
All
see, that floors me because I don't even, when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, she used plastic. It must be some kind of cake under the plastic because that just looked unreal.
Edible. The only thing that wasn't edible was the Heineken can. I was like, I'm not about to make a can too.
Yeah, right.
I went and bought a can of beer, poured the beer out. My husband was like, you threw out good beer. I said, yeah, I guess I could have made some beer batter shrimp or something. I took a knife, cut the can, took it and crunched it with my hands to make it look smushed, and then put one on one side of the alligator's mouth, one on the other side, so it made it give it the appearance that he was biting down on the can. I shaped, and one of my friends came over. They're a painter. So I was getting estimates to paint my dining room and my living room. She said, if I hadn't watched you, I would have never believed it. So she watched me carve that actual cake out.
Yeah.
She saw me carve it.
All these talents is,
and it's nothing but a sheet cake. It's nothing but a sheet cake. I cut the sheet cake in half, stacked it on top to give it more of a loaf, like a long rectangle shape. And then I shaped it from there. And even, you know how cakes sit flat on the board. Under the cake is flat, but I took my knife and cut it this way to give that lift that the cake was coming upward as opposed to sitting flat.
Yeah.
I just took the knife, did a little slant there to give the mouth of the gator up a little bit, up under the, I guess his chin.
Yeah.
And just shaped from there, and kind of, I looked at a picture of alligator, and then I take my knife and cut, and then I look at the picture to just give it that. And I went by and piped the things on top of his head. And I took my knife and just went across the alligator to give those alligator squares. But it was just a knife.
Wow. And you weren't even looking at a picture of an alligator? It was just
I just look at it to kind of show me this, the eye is here. And then to get the color, I just use my airbrush machine.
Oh, okay. That's remarkable. That's remarkable. We got another comment. EW said your cake should be on the TV show Cake Boss.
I have heard that. Everybody's like, you should go on there, but I couldn't work under the kind of pressure. Reality TV is a different animal. I got a taste of reality TV when I made it onto America's Got Talent and Last Comic Standing. I was one of the, so when you see the shows, you see people lined up and because they give you the hype. I wasn't in line for either show. I got handpicked. I actually won a spot on the Last Comic Standing. So I bypassed the line and went straight to the panel.
Oh, wow.
And so reality TV is different. I remember when we flew into Minneapolis, you get off the plane, then we had to get on this van. Well, they'll tell you, okay, get out the van. They show you getting out the van. Then get back on the van. Then you get out again. They're going to show you a different angle. So by the time they edit it, you all see what you see. But reality TV isn't my thing.
Yeah, I understand. It's a different lane.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, ma'am,
perfect person, so I don't want everything.
This hour has flown by, and I don't even think we even skimmed the surface of the depths of what people are going to see when they go see More Than Their Eyes Can See 5. ladies and gentlemen, this is the last installment of it.
Yes.
So if you really want to see the depths of what Miss Crystal P has to offer talent-wise, you owe it to yourself to get a ticket to this show. It's going to be April 12th, 2025. Again, if you're looking at this show, and it is February, March-ish, this is a replay, so you can go get tickets for this show. I'm going to be in the house. And this is the last show, which is why it says the last experience.
It's a very costly show to do. A lot of people don't realize I produce it. I pay for this show out of my own pocket.
Yes.
I'm doing comedy shows. I take a percentage of my comedy money. As you can see on the flyer, I'm doing stand-up, playing the saxophone, playing the flute.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm getting older, going a different direction. But I would tell people, go to my website, crystalpiscrazy.com, crystalpiscrazy.com. Sign up for the newsletter. We don't spam you. We don't send out stuff bothering you. We only send out information when it's time. And as soon as the tickets drop, you'll be the first to hear about it. People that are signed up for the newsletter, they know about all upcoming shows. And when tickets are ready, they'll be the first to hear about it, even before it goes on social media.
I know I'm gonna be one of the first because I got to get mine because it was just a phenomenal show.
And let me know how you like the website. I always tell people, go to my website. Let me know what you think.
Oh, you know I've been to the website.
Yeah, one nephew built my website. My other nephew came up with this Crystal P's logo, so you'll always see this logo on everything.
Yes,
everything.
Yeah, and see, and that's the cool thing about that is you always keep stuff home base. You never forget where you come from.
Oh no,
and
I use all my family. Charity starts at home.
Yeah,
but I use my friends as well. So when it comes to makeup, shouts out to Rashida, the glam doctor. Shouts out to Janae Leonard. My husband loves Janae Leonard to make. Oh my God, he loves the way she does my face. But those two of my makeup artists. Yeah, Nisi does my clothes. I get my shirts stamped here in the city, outside of the city here. Everybody that I use, all my vocalists, all around the area. My MD, Demetrius Neighbors. Go check him out. Crayon. Oh my God, Demetrius Neighbors. Check him out. If you listen to watercolors on XM or Sirius Satellite or whatever they call it now. Yeah. He has music on watercolors. He has music. So the people on my stage are not just, they run it, we just pick them run-of-the-mill people. Everybody on that stage has a resume. Yes. They've been nominated for awards. They've been nominated for Grammys. The bass player, Rob Skinner, he plays for Randy Scott. He plays for Randy Scott. One of my guitarists, he couldn't play on this year's show because he was out on tour with Charlie Wilson. Guitarist, I don't know if you peeped it or not at my show. There was a guitarist playing for Demetrius. And when it was time for my set, did you notice a new guitarist came out?
I did. Yeah.
He never rehearsed one day with me. That was the first time I saw him.
Really?
Him my set. They showed him what we were going to do, what the licks are and everything. Yeah. He came in. When y'all saw him is when I saw him. He played that entire show without missing a beat.
Wow.
On tour with another top international artist as well.
Wow.
So we don't just have, let's go get Pookie and them. No, these are professional comedians. Yeah. Professional musicians. Yes. And professional singers. Yes. Every last one of them. So we give you a quality show. Yes. Quality show.
I wouldn't miss it for a lot of stuff in the world. I gotta say, once you see her Crystal P show, you're gonna want to see it again. Oh, one last question before we go. Since this is the last show, will it be recorded so we won't see a 6?
Not unless a miracle comes from the sky. A financial bounty comes from the sky. There's, like I said, there's some other things I want to do in life.
Oh,
I haven't revealed all my secrets yet. It's gonna shock some people. I'm always shocking people.
Yes, you are, because you shocked me.
Yeah.
Again, everybody, More Than the Eyes Can See, number 5, the final experience. You want to be in the house on April 12th. April 12th, 2025, at the Dearborn Performing Arts Center. You gotta be there. Pack this house out, because I know I'm gonna bring at least 9 people with me.
And we have group rates for 10 or more. So you have people come on, get a discount. My goal, I'm gonna put it out there because you have to speak those things as though they were.
Yes.
My goal is 1,000 people for this show, not $9.99.
Yes,
this won't do. 1,000 people paid tickets for this show.
Yes.
We did 700 for this last show, 750, 700. 1,000 people.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be one of those 1,000.
And bring somebody.
Yes.
We've had even children in the audience before. Well-behaved children.
Yeah, they were.
Behaved.
Yeah. Crystal P, thank you. And I appreciate you interrupting your rehearsals just to come and talk to us on the show.
Absolutely.
But I thought it would be super important that people know that this phenomenal show is there and is local for us Detroiters. But man, you have got to see it, especially as this is the last one.
There is no reason for people in Detroit not to support the show.
Yes.
People always say, we don't have this, we don't have. How do you think Beyonce came Beyonce? Like, you get support.
Yes.
I have people came here from Chicago, Kentucky, Atlanta, Texas. There's no way people should be beating our own home people.
Yes.
Show.
Yes.
Canada. I've had people from Canada come and support this show. So I need us to support. If you all want to see not just me, but any of our talented people in the city, we have to learn how to support people.
Yes.
One thing about me is I support other Detroit artists. If I don't have a show, I'm coming. Even if I don't come, I bought a ticket. I bought tickets for movie premieres that I couldn't attend because I'm on the show. But the only way to keep the market alive here is for us to support it.
Yes. And I want to shout out 2 people who I think will come to your show and bring people. I met them last night at a comedy show. Miss Sherry Rothschild and Miss Kathy. Kathy's gonna slap me when she sees me, but I can't remember her last name. But she know who I'm talking about. If they're watching, I told her about you. I told her about your show, and they are avid comedy aficionados. They like comedy, so they'll definitely be at your show. I just wanted to shout them out because they were so nice to us at the comedy show last night.
I appreciate that, and I thank you so much for having me on and supporting More Than the Eyes Can See. And Crystal P, Crystal P is crazy. Crystal P, the crazy part came from Laugh-A-Lujah.
Oh, okay.
The producer of that show was like, Crystal P is crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's where the is crazy part came on. But I always just been Crystal P, the baker.
Yeah.
You know, I taught kids how to bake during the pandemic online, and people are waiting for me to bring my classes back. So there's so much more to me that people are not familiar with.
Right.
That I've done. I used to sew. I've done so much. I used to do hair. A lot of people don't know that I used to do hair.
Really?
I need to tag you in a clip of that one time. But there's so much that I do. So literally, if I don't have money for makeup artists and hairstylists, I'll go right in the bathroom, put on some makeup, do my hair, get my clothes out, and dress myself.
Yeah.
And people think like, oh, she invented a stylist. She know. I do it myself because I don't have the money. I'm gonna fake it till I make it, but I'm gonna give you my very, very best.
And you do such a splendid job of it, and you do it splendidly and creatively. That's what I appreciate. Miss Crystal P, comedian Crystal P, baker Crystal P, entertainer, actress, musician, all in one. Thank you, ma'am, for coming on the Man Cave.
I hope to see y'all at the show.
You will.
Michael Guido, Department Performing Arts Theater. And go to the website. Y'all see it up under my name, crystalpscrazy.com.
Yes.
Sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to check my numbers too. I can see it. Don't be lying. It's the Lord's Day today. Don't lie on the Lord's Day.
Thank you, ma'am. We will see you soon. Yeah. If not on TV, at the show.
Absolutely. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Hold on 1 minute.
Okay.
See y'all next week.